Get ready to awaken real beauty.
So they're just lucky. Nothing like that ever happens to me. Have you ever caught yourself saying something like that before? Well, in this video, I'm going to turn any so-called bad luck around, and before long, you're going to have lucky girl syndrome, and people could very well be saying the same thing about you, that you're one of the luckiest people, one of the luckiest girls that they know. So hi there guys, my name's Susan, and on this channel I talk about awakening your real beauty and stepping into the starring role of your life. So if you're a woman and you're interested in things like personal development, self-care, and becoming the best version of yourself, then you might want to stick around and subscribe to this channel. So first of all, what really is lucky girl syndrome? It really boils down to one thing, and that is your perception. When you perceive that you're just a lucky person, it seems that the world around you starts responding to that. Now, most people are completely held back by the perception of themselves. They perceive themselves to be unlucky, and that in turn seems to become like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and they can't see all the good things that are happening around them, no matter what. So how do you turn this around and become someone who has lucky girl syndrome? So stay with me, because I'm going to give you some tips which are going to blow your mind and get you so excited when you start seeing all the effects of your so-called good luck showing up in your life. Now, I have seen this showing up again and again with somebody that I'm very close to, and they've got like an extreme case of lucky girl syndrome. It just seems that opportunities and being in the right place at the right time just seems to happen to her naturally. It's just amazing to watch. So for example, earlier today we were out having lunch and we wanted to stop to pick up some baklava and some Turkish delight from a particular shop in our area. And we live in a beach town, and this shop just happens to be where all the tourist is, and it's almost a tourist area, and it's almost impossible to get parking. But sure enough, just as we drove up to the store, we noticed that a spot was clear literally right in front of where we wanted to go. And then as we were driving, after that, we were speaking about an old friend that my friend hadn't seen for a while. And just as we were talking about this person, we literally see their vehicle right in front of them. She hasn't seen this person in 10 years, and then we just happen to see them out in traffic. So after that, we go and look at some homes, for sale, to discover that the guard gate was closed, and we're just about to leave when the gardener literally waves us down and tells us to pull out a little further, and then the gate will automatically open for us. And we've just been talking about lucky girl syndrome, and that when that happened, we literally turned and looked at each other and we just started cracking up. It's like a real thing, and I've seen it happen with this particular person over and over again. So let me ask you this question. If you believe that things will always work out for you, no matter what, how would you act? What would you think? Why not cast yourself as a starring role in the movie of your life, where things just seem to work out for you no matter what, and you are the luckiest person in the world? This is your character, and there's someone who is just naturally lucky. So even when so-called bad things happen, like when I got cancer, you can turn how you see things around by choosing to think from a completely different point of view. And even when I had cancer, I had so many lucky things happen to me, but that's a story for another day. Now, in his book, Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins talks about this thing that we have in our brain called the reticular activating system. We all have it. So let me give you an example of what it really is. So a few years ago, I drove a black Mustang GT. It was a stick shift and a lot of fun, but however, it wasn't until I actually got the Mustang that I realized how many people on the road drove one too. Everywhere I go, I saw black Mustangs, and that's the reticular activating system at work, because we have so much information coming at us from all directions in our life that we can't possibly assimilate it all. So what your reticular activating system does is filter out the things that it thinks that you don't want to see and focus in on the things that you do. So because my black Mustang was now in my consciousness, I saw it everywhere, and it had become important to me. So I literally saw black Mustang GTs all over the place. So if you want to step into the starring role of your movie where you are a lucky girl, then you need to start believing that way. You need to start thinking that you are the heroine of your story, and no matter what may happen, you are going to come out of this, because everything around you is always conspiring in your favor, because you have lucky girl syndrome. So let's talk about how to develop this. So the first step is all about your perception of yourself. When you believe that you are lucky and things just work out for you, your reticular activating system goes into overdrive and you automatically start like seeing things and different opportunities and events that before you might not have seen. When you're always griping about how terrible and how unlucky you are, that's what you're going to focus in on. And the power of your perception is huge. Changing your script and how you see yourself will literally change the world around you. So if you want more information about this, I suggest that you watch my video on how I reinvented myself when I turned 40, which is up here somewhere. Now, step 2 is practicing gratitude. Every day, start noticing how so-called luck starts showing up in your life. And I suggest you get a lucky notebook in which you write down these instances. And once you believe that you are lucky, you're going to start having evidence of that showing up in your life. So bring out your lucky notebook and start writing out how all this luck starts showing up or manifesting in your life. I encourage you to jot down like 5 things every night before you go to bed and think about those things and be grateful for them, no matter how small, especially when you go to sleep, because it's going to start getting into your subconscious. It could be something as little as finding some change on the ground or getting that parking space or noticing a kind gesture from a friend or a co-worker. And the more you practice gratitude, the more things are going to show up in your life for you to be grateful for. Now, if you're a chronic complainer, you might not even realize that you are, and that's a sure way to dim lucky girl syndrome. Break the habit and become consciously grateful instead. Which brings us to the third point, which is if you want to catch lucky girl syndrome, start focusing on the good in your life. Something that I noticed about lucky girl syndrome is the word syndrome, and you have to believe it as such. So I actually went to the dictionary and looked up the definition of syndrome, and this is what it said. It said, a group of signs and symptoms that occurs together and characterizes a particular abnormality or condition. So when you start thinking of yourself as being abnormally lucky, you can't help but notice all these things about good luck coming into your life, and your reticular activating system will go on hyperdrive as you notice all the good things more and more. Choosing to believe that you have lucky girl syndrome makes life a lot more exciting and magical and just wonderful to live, because life can be tough if we choose to think it is, so why not choose to think that you're lucky? However, if we choose to believe that we have lucky girl syndrome, then no matter what we go through, it gives us the fortitude not to give up. I can look back on my own life and see difficult situations and think to myself how lucky I am that that happened. At the time, of course, we may feel the opposite, but when we choose to believe that we have lucky girl syndrome and that things work out for us, one way or another, they do. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and remember that the power to transform your life is already within you, and you can be the luckiest girl in the world. Until next time, this is Sue with Awaken Real Beauty. Bye for now.